I must say good night to one and all, and don't forget COVID protocol. Virus don't care if you big or small. Numbers high like me cholesterol. But tonight is the heritage show. Beauty, brains and talent for so. No other place than sweet Tobago. Let me take you to go Legacies.
I still hear voices of retaliation from a black brother who set out to kill another for he partner murder. And before you know it, another mother wailing, bawling, she belly bawling, because they robbed she only joy. But he was a good boy.
Lazy with the corner shop go tell me that man is not your own. That man you marry and not me own. And stupid me go say, not my Johnny.
Me neighbor say Maya. I said oi. She said come. I said why? She said this woman here saying she's Johnny's wife. I say I come in for you today. Madam in the valley of Pica Drive.
Dance. Ay, 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 Ferry maid could dance. Ferry maid could dance. Ferry maid could dance. Ay, 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 Ferry maid could dance. Ferry maid could dance. Ferry maid could dance. Ay, 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 Ferry maid. Oh ha, oh ha, oh ha, oh ha.
Stop your poem, Mr. Fiddler. Oh ha ha. Scarborough, which is the capital of Tobago, has seen a cheer of excitement over the past years. But then, surprising for an island that has changed hands more than 30 times in 150 years. Listen, me well.
What you preach must be practiced. I have come to dance with you for a new manifestation. Total inclusion is my expectation. I want all those who work hard to save the culture to continue to preserve it from the culture.
From Tom Picker and Sister Blake, Malakela Sound Diamonds and Short Play. Can't you see the essence of our mystery is in our musical legacy? Come let me go, let me go.
Hi, I'm Moesha Bruce, Miss Tobago Heritage Personality 2019, welcoming you to episode 3 of the Miss Tobago Heritage Personality 2020 show, brought to you by Tobago Festivals Commissions Limited and our sponsors, Tobago House of Assembly and First Citizens. This evening, we bring to you grace, poise and charisma as our 10 lovely contestants portray their evening gowns. Tonight, our contestants will be judged on their gown portrayal. Earlier on, they were judged on the construction of their evening gowns in the pre-judging of the evening gown category. The contestant's designer with the best constructed gown will take away the Best Designer Award. But before we get into this episode, let's take a look at the pre-judging of the evening gown. And now it's time to return to the stage for the evening gown segment. Enjoy.
We're going to hear them long-time stories from all over Tobago. If you want to know how Obe used to work, let me go, let me go.
I could hear the song, the mix of the tambourine and the African drum. Now some fiddle are play, and the queens are come. So watch on at the dolls in their gowns.
As Aliyah Holder treks backward, tracing her ancestry, she finds herself on the Roxborough estate in 1876 amidst riots and mayhem. Corporal Belmana and his team of officers are in pursuit of the arsonist who set fire to the estate. On this trick, the bodice of her gown takes on the appearance of a policeman's uniform made from blue peau de soie, trimmed with silver braid and decorated with silver buttons. Corporal Belmana shoots into the crowd, killing a Barbadian woman. This triggered a major riot, which is now known as the Belmana riot. Aliyah's gown continues to tell the history of heightened tension and oppression of the police. Her circular skirt, tie-dyed in red and black, overlaid with black tulle, flows to the hemline with cut-out flame motifs of red satin depicting bloodshed, fire, and chaos of the riot. Her hairpiece represents the British warship which landed to restore peace to Roxborough. Aliyah transitions on her trek to tell of happier times in history. This beautiful gown is called Turn of the Tide, portraying the wave of change that took place after the plantation riots. The bodice of this fabulous gown is embellished with structurally shaped appliques of sequined fabric to create a landscape illustrating a rich economy. Roxborough became a port of call for goods and services and cocoa exports, whilst the villagers became fisherfolk. Roxborough had its own courthouse, post office, and booming businesses, making it the second town of Tobago. Aliyah's skirt, made of frills of tulle in shades of blue and green, the colors of the sea, form an asymmetrical cut from the floor to the waistline, mimicking the breaking of a wave. This epitomizes the movement of change that took place from the plantation to sea life. Her tiara now becomes a fashion statement which continues the legacy of a Roxborough princess becoming more beautiful. This ensemble was designed and made by Suzette Waldron of Monlene's Fashion Fancy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Aliyah Holder representing Roxborough.
Presenting Miss Canby Mount Pleasant, Miss Maya Craig Charles. The beautiful Queen of Canby Mount Pleasant portrays Jane Lovell, one of the longest surviving enslaved Africans to have lived in Tobago. Poised with elegance and inherited resilience, she tells her story and traces the legacy of her ancestors, our ancestors. Her regal head wrap balances and bears the memories of the arduous treks her ancestors frequently made, carrying on their heads the burden of baskets brimming with the fire bricks brought by merchant ships and used in the construction of one of the island's oldest churches, the St. Patrick's Anglican Church. Her gown mimics the journey, the ancestral walk, with ascending ruffles depicting the path from the seashore and swirling treacherously to the apex at St. Patrick's, a gradual splendor to an exhausted climax from a weight that increases with each step. The artwork at the back showcases the treasured village emblems, the majestic St. Patrick's Anglican Church, the compound, which houses Jane Lovell's grave and a traditional dirt oven, while also recognizing the talented Carib Dixieland Steel Pan Orchestra, applauding the annual Mount Pleasant Goat and Crab races, praising the invaluable contribution of the Itsy Bitsy Folk Theatre, and paying homage to village stalwarts like Dr. Eastland Mackenzie and Mrs. Annis Alfred. The royal blue color speaks to the freedom and resplendence of present-day life in Mount Pleasant and Remembrance Now, and is not marred with the thought of suffering, but sketched with the vibrancy of village society, the network of families, community ties, and the retention of traditions amidst inevitable modernization. The three armbands represent strength in community, hope, and freedom. A reminder that the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Once again, Miss Maya Craig Charles, Miss Camby Mount Pleasant.
Think about the generations and to say we want to make it a better place for our children and our children's children, so that they know it's a better world for them.
Now we have on stage contestant number 3, Miss Davina Nelson, representing Legacies. Due to the current state that the world is in, at some point in the future, we will have to move around in our personal pods. This evening, Davina is dressed in a gown entitled Coalescence, which is the merging of elements to form one mass or a whole. This gown traces the legacy of the previous Legacies queens who were crowned Miss Tobago Heritage Personality in their respective years. It features a deconstruction of elements of the different gowns worn by the queens. The colors were chosen as a monochromatic color scheme and was formed from 3 other inspiring gowns. The fabric consists of yellow and cream organza, yellow sequined lace, and brown cotton. The brown cotton was used by past queen, Miss Hyacinth Leander, as the fabric throughout the design. This mermaid silhouette gown has a one-sided shoulder that cascades with a light organza and a macrame yarn off of Davina's left shoulder. This ensemble is embellished with gold sequins, iridescent diamante, and macrame yarn. Past queen, Miss Hilda Grant, in her portrayal of Carib Queen, utilized the macrame technique within the gown. The back features a train of softly pleated organza and brown cotton that elongates and accentuates Davina's figure. The ensemble also features a matching fascinator with 5 long spikes representing each of the past winning queens of Legacies. It is embellished with sparkling iridescent crystals, which are reminiscent of the fish bones used by Beverly Price in her ensemble. To complement this Odette Jack creation, Davina wears golden heels with matching bracelets and earrings. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Davina Nelson representing Legacies.
Up next, we have contestant number 4, Miss Rhythmic Vibrations, Miss Kandel Smith. Allow me to share her story. It is August 14th, 1498. In a dream, Kandel, wife of the Carib chief, is pregnant with their first child. She sets out to gather flowers adorned in a 2-layer dress. Unknown to the expectant mother, Christopher Columbus has eyed her beautifully shaped island and rechristened it Bella Forma. In her dream, she spies the colonizers. In 1628, as they arrive to kill and plunder in their quest to claim her, suddenly, the pain of the childbirth is upon her, and she spins and writhes in agony, as enslaved Africans did in 1770, when they were brought here to farm the land. Eventually, she transforms into a perfectly blended fusion of all her experiences. The French have impressed upon her the graceful belly dance, depicted by the voluminous candy floss frills on her right. Her hoop skirt reflects the Spanish influence with a British cumberbatch. Clinches now her tiny waist to perfection. A stylized Dutch puff sleeve extends off her right shoulder. This is all combined with the strongest heritage of all, Africa. Kandel's gown and headpiece are created from a variation of traditional Andikra fabric of Ghana. The circular pattern represents greatness, charisma, and leadership, while the color purple demonstrates her royal lineage. The vibrant yellow of this ensemble reflects the effervescence and vitality of her people, even under the most trying circumstances. Finally, in her dream, Kandel has found her flowers and uses them to adorn herself with the enchanting shade of purple. Bella Forma has indeed become more beautiful. Kandel's gown was created by Verla Belfon, her makeup done by Marissa Abraham. She is sponsored by Viewport Supermarket, Towers Consortium Consultancy, Daniel Chicken Delight Limited, Sherwood Food Supermarket, Romeo Smith, Betty Ann Smith, Arlene Danielle, Rhythmic Vibrations, and special thanks, Cami Smith, Crystal London, Merle Belfon, Roger Washington, Gerald Moses, and Amika Gapo. Presenting Miss Rhythmic Vibrations, Miss Kandel Smith. A design concerted in the patriotic colors of our beloved nation. Red, the color of love. White, the color of spirituality. And black, a reflection of our strength, resilience, and vitality, a mirrored symbol of hope. A connotation of our many conquests, symbolizing duty, honor, and dignity. Indeed, a shimmer of our glory days, preserving our legacy. Tonight, finally, the tracing of legacies has led to the threshold of our existence, where our island became a battlefield for the many who ruled and fought for us. Built in the 1780s, overlooking the panoramic serene Scarborough Bay, is the world-famous Fort King George, a place that speaks volumes of our island's history. This evening, Aliyah Sandy portrays the majesty, illuminated, serene beauty of the British-French Creole Renaissance. A symbol of hope forever, it depicts our trials of light in the darkness fought over, yet still a shimmer of our glory, preserving the honor and leading many faithful patrons home to Scarborough and to Tobago. Shining light of greatness, a grand prince design and production house offering. Incandescent treasure, nestled in the fortress that is Fort King George, the Light Tower, and still surviving are remnants of the original brick and stone walls, an early prison, the officers' mess hall, several cannons, an important aspect of our heritage where our island became a battleground by the many, the Dutch, the British, the French. Aliyah's portrayal celebrates the majesty of the capital of Scarborough, aptly titled Beacon of Our Scarborough, light, the power, and the glory. A creation made by Elizabeth Lucas. So homage is paid in silver, iridescent, and white to our treasures on Fort King George, the most well-preserved fort on the island, the Lighthouse. Presenting Miss Aliyah Sandy, representing the Culture Club Ensemble of Scarborough.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome contestant number 6 representing Mount St. George. This evening, Shaquan's gown takes you on a journey as we trace the legacy of the sugar mill in Mount St. George. This legacy tells the story of the community's rich historical past, which to date is polished bright by the pride of the people. Mount St. George boasts of having the most well-kept sugar mill on the island of Tobago. Although abandoned in 1870, having survived numerous natural disasters, the mill stands undeterred 126 years later. This is synonymous to the resilience and determination of the people of Mount St. George. Despite the eventual collapse of the sugar industry, this evening we celebrate our ancestors who toiled and still dwell at the sugar mill. Watch intensely as the water pours into the golden funnel of our headdress, which represents the mill's sluice. Without this sluice, bringing in the rushing water, the mill stands still on its own, and thus the water animates this rumbling beast. The neckline symbolizes the chains used to bound our ancestors as they worked the plantations for centuries. The endless ropes are reflections of the sugarcane that fed the mill. These ropes are tattooed in bright African-influenced textiles and are identical to the blood and sweat of our ancestors, which painted said sugarcane for decades. These ancestors were stolen through the Middle Passage to fuel the transatlantic slave trade and made Mount St. George what it is today. This is all underscored by the cooling, glittering water, without which no step on this journey would ever have been made possible. Although these symbols of oppression, this evening with this gown entitled Sugarcane Glory, we celebrate the rich heritage and enduring spirit given to Mount St. George by our ancestors. This gown was designed and constructed by Ronald Guy James. Ladies and gentlemen, in all her sugarcane glory, Ms. Shaquan Allen, representing the Mount St. George Police Youth Club.
It is my pleasure to present Miss Mount Grace 2020, Miss Kezia Sandy. Cocoa contributes significantly to the socio-economic development of Trinidad and Tobago. The cocoa bean, which is also called the cocoa bean, is the dried and fully fermented seed of the Theobroma cacao, from which cocoa solids are derived. Kezia Sandy, representing the Mount Grace community, brings the agricultural splendor in her portrayal. She wears a regal coat of brown, orange, and circled brocade materials. This ensemble is aptly titled Cocoa Mania, Splendor of the Cocoa. She celebrates history, movement, and passage as an industry being so assiduous. Tonight, her gown portrayal is a mixture of elegance and plantation life. The linear fabric is a reflection of the cocoa out of its pods just before putting them to dry. The materials used are gold lame, burlap, yellow, and brown suede. The concept was enhanced by the deliberate use of yellow and natural bleaching of burlap to give the natural appeal. The gown is gracefully complemented by elongated sleeves and natural jewelry. Cocoa has created niche markets for countless byproducts, and as such, the trade thrived as the demand increased for many decades. As the saying goes, 1 cocoa does full basket. Kezia's makeup was done by Miss Julie Scotland. Her hairstyle is a symbolic representation of cocoa that is set to be grated, then used to make hot chocolate tea. This beautiful creation was done by Miss Abigail Brewster. Once again, Miss Mount Grace, Miss Kezia Sandy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome contestant number 9,
Miss Jerian-Ann Sterling. Representing Argyle. Early morning each day of the week, the fishermen of Argyle goes out to sea to catch fish. At the break of dawn, they board their boats and take to the seas to earn a much-needed living. Today is no exception and no different. The fishermen throw their nets into the great seas, hoping for a great catch. Ladies and gentlemen, before you, in her evening gown, she portrays a scene of net amidst the open tropical seas. The colors blue, aquamarine, and green represent fishes that can be seen caught in the fisherman's nets. This design showcases a superior artistic detail. The splashes are individually applied to the gown. The headpiece is a beautiful depiction of coral life under the seas of Argyle. Images of beauty of the marine life is evident for all to see and enjoy coral ecstasy. Tonight is the rare full moon and the waters are still and inviting. As Jerian comes before you, she wears an ensemble mirroring a great catch. It sheds away for a magnificent blend of Atlantic clear blue skies and seas. What a creation. A gown made by Elsia Mills is suitably entitled Tropical Sea Fantasy Catch of the Day. It was designed and created out of love. Love for the preservation of a revered way of life and living. A way to achieve economic advancements and a way to preserve an old age tradition. The style of the gown reveals an elongated seabed trail of frills representing the waves, several shades of blues, aquamarines, and iridescent hues. Presenting Miss Jerian-Ann Sterling, Miss Argyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, now presenting contestant number 9, Miss Karisia Morrison, representing the Delicia Dance Agency. Fairy maids are said to be found in the rivers and the magical pools. They are beautiful with long, lush hair and one tiny foot in the shape of a deer's hoof. They use their powers to attract and steal men's shadows. Well, so said, so done. Years ago, Karisia had stolen the shadow of a young hunter boy and left him in a trance. Finally, with the help of family and a worker man, young Boyo was able to appease her, regain his shadow, and be free of her power. But this was not enough for him. He wanted revenge. Against good sense, he walked along the riverbank where he was trapped so many years ago. After many nights, he finally heard her singing in the shadows at the water's edge, awaiting her next victim. He sprung into action before he could weave her magic, captured her, and carried her to his home, where he imprisoned her in a cage of croton, which he had enchanted with the help of a spell he got from the workman. Night after night, she sang to the moon and pleaded to him for her release. As she sang, Young Boyo fell deeper in love, thus weakening the enchantment of her croton cage until she was able to break free. Unperturbed and every bit of the femme fatale, she sauntered off into the night. This evening, Miss Karisia Morrison of Delicious Dance Agency is pleased to break free for you in this show-stopping piece designed and constructed by Ronald Guy James. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Miss Karisia Morrison representing the Delicia Dance Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our final gown for this segment, presented by Miss Tiffany Kwashie-Williams, representing the Mason Hall Village Council. This fully lined mounted gown is entitled Passion of a People. A passion wrapped in the musical legacy of its people, as the notes of music is symbolic to the many musicians, past and present, produced by this village rich in culture. Her headdress is made of braids and flowers, demonstrating the fertility of the village that is abundant in flora and fauna, while the burlap represents their connection to the earth. The embroidered pieces on the burlap was done in an effort to continue the legacy, as the seamstresses and tailors of the olden days painstakingly constructed everything by hand. So too was 80% of this outfit. The scarves draping at the hips represent the rivers that run through the village, creating a wave at the base that is a musical staff. The pan is made of foil and speaks to the Pan fraternity in the village. Designed with a Junoesque in mind, as is evident in its curvatures that serve to showcase the imposing physique of the Mason Hall beauty. The white peau de soie satin further accentuates the posture that is uniquely Mason Hall. The eyes at the back of the outfit are made of red, blue, and gold diamante, and these represent the eyes of the villagers as they keep a constant watch on their legacy. The African djembe drum at the back of the gown represents the Mason Hall folk performers. The flames at the edges of the trail pay tribute to a combo band of the 70s, Jeff and the Flames, made from scuba cotton, faux silk, and lamy, to highlight the passion and diversity of its people and the eternal flames that burn brightly for the music within. Tiffany's outfit was designed and constructed by Miss Sharon Phillips and Miss Patrice Rowley. Sponsored by the Mason Hall folk performers, Kwesi Divines and Visto Enterprises, family and friends, we have Miss Tiffany Kwashie-Williams representing the Mason Hall Village Council folk performers.
We are going up at Plymouth for the old time carnival. So before the Queen's return or any result is called, characters, welcome. Dancers, welcome. Pan and Soca appear. Let me entertain the crowd.
And now the queens shall be serenaded with the sweet music of the steel pan.
Starting with Miss Roxborough, Miss Aliyah Holder. Miss Carnby Mount Pleasant, Miss Maya Craig Charles. Miss Legato, Davina Nelson. Miss Rhythmic Vibrations, Kandel Smith. Miss Culture Club Ensemble of Scarborough, Aliyah Sandy. Miss Mount St. George Police Youth Club, Shaquan Allen. Miss Mount Grace, Kezia Sandy. Miss Argyle, Jerian-Ann Sterling. Delicia's Dance Agency, Karisia Morrison. Miss Mason Hall Village Council, Tiffany Kwashie-Williams. These are your queens before you.
758 movements. Let's go.
When you see me start to whine and misbehave, don't judge me, cause it's all I get on when I in a rage. Don't judge me, and I just want to whine and walk up, whine and walk up, whine and walk up, I'm on the free up, whine and walk up, whine and walk up, come on for this step, I want to jump up on the judgment step, I want to whine up on the judgment step, I want to free up on the judgment step, the judgment step.
Well, the real bacchanal starting now. Here now, this person have focus like that. What we gonna do when I get this ching chong? We bring it on. Help me welcome Adana Roberts.
Thank you very much.
What you gonna do when you get this ching chong?
Everybody who know this song, help me sing it today. Come on.
What you gonna do when bumper fling down?
Come on. If it was meant to be, I will
find you.
I'm gonna end up behind you. Shamade, can I hear some voices? Come on. Come, let me do it today. Let me do it today. I'm not sure to see you tomorrow. Don't tell me about tomorrow. I need it today. Tomorrow. So this is the question. Come on. What you gonna do when you get this? Ching chong, ching chong. What you gonna do when bumper fling down? How you gonna deal with all this magic? When I make that bumper flick, flick, dip, dip, dip like this. I'm in a liar, you make me higher. I could drink champagne over fire. Get wine and burn my desires. Come on, just not the usual slow. Don't get delusional. You never know. Can I hear some voices say, come, let me do it today. Let me do it today. I'm not sure. Don't deal with tomorrow. I need it today. I am sure to get that tomorrow. Can I see some things in the air? Come on. Put your hands up. Let me dance up. Tell me like you never go see me. Again. In the air, come on. Put your hands up. Let me dance up. Jam me like you never go see me. Again. Why? I wanna behave the worst way. But if you curse me, cause we dare. I wanna be your lowest wine. I know it's the first time. Tell me now, baby, it's gonna be the last day. Listen, they never expected this, but the thing it just feels so sweet. Can't believe that we just meet. Every time I think about your waist and the look by your face, I just get so sticky. We like the city, you miss the hands up. Come on, say, I'm a liar. You off the wire. I could drink champagne over fire. Come burn my desire now, baby. Oh, baby, this not the usual. Don't get delusional. You never know. Can I get your voices? Come, let me do it today. We're gonna do this one more time. Everybody put something up in the air. Come on, say it. Put your hands up.
Put your hands up, let me dance up. Jamaica. Hey, put your hands up, let me dance up. Jamaica like you never go see me again. Thank you very much.
That wraps it up for tonight. In our next episode, you'll see our top 5 contestants, the question and answer segment, and the moment we've all been waiting for. Who will be Miss Tobago Heritage Personality 2020? So see you guys next week. Same time, same place. This is a production of the Tobago Festivals Commissions Limited.